Guys, the meet will start. Guys, the meet will start shortly, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests, and dear colleagues, warm greetings to one and all. We are all excited to have you today for the much awaited inaugural ceremony of Cybosium, India's first ever IEEE RAS technical education program, jointly conducted by IEEE RAS SBC MACE and IEEE MACE SB to foster technical and scientific growth among students in the field of robotics. In just about every area of society, there is nothing more important than ethics. So, now I would like to invite Ms. Irene Bennett, Chairperson of IEEE MACE SB, to pledge the Code of Ethics.
IEEE Code of Ethics. We, the members of IEEE, in recognition of the importance of our technologies in affecting the quality of life throughout the world and in accepting personal obligation to our profession, its members, and the communities we serve, do hereby commit ourselves to the highest ethical and professional conduct and agree to uphold the highest standards of integrity, responsible behavior, and ethical conduct in professional activities. To hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of the public, to strive to comply with ethical design and sustainable development practices, to protect the privacy of others, and to disclose promptly factors that might endanger the public or the environment, to improve the understanding by individuals and society of the capabilities and societal implications of conventional and emerging technologies, including intelligent systems, to avoid real or perceived conflicts of interest whenever possible, and to disclose them to affected parties when they do exist, to avoid unlawful conduct in professional activities, and to reject bribery in all its forms, to seek, accept, and offer honest criticism of technical work, to acknowledge and correct errors, to be honest and realistic in stating claims or estimates based on available data, and to credit property, the contribution of others, to maintain and improve our technical competence, and to undertake technological tasks for others only if qualified by training or experience after full disclosure of pertinent limitations, to treat all persons fairly and with respect, not to engage in harassment or discrimination, and to avoid injuring others, to treat all persons fairly and with respect, and to not engage in discrimination based on characteristics such as race, religion, gender, disability, age, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression. To not engage in harassment of any kind, including sexual harassment or bullying behavior. To avoid injuring others, their property, reputation, or employment by false or physical abuses. To strive to ensure this code is upheld by colleagues and co-workers. To support
Thank you, Avery. Now, with great pleasure, I invite Dr. Siddharth Shelly, Advisor, IEEE RAS SBC MACE, to deliver the welcome address. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Abhiram. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, dear distinguished guests, colleagues, and students, it gives me a great pride and joy to welcome you all to this special occasion. As the chapter advisor of IEEE RAS SBC MACE, it is an honor to be part of such work and dedication of our team who has tirelessly worked towards making it a success. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our esteemed guest and panelists, including Chief Guest David Hansen, CEO of Hansen Robotics, along with our distinguished guest of honor for taking the time out of their busy schedule to be with us. Let me briefly introduce our guest of honors. David Hansen is an American robotist, AI researcher, and entrepreneur. He is the founder and CEO of Hansen Robotics, a Hong Kong based engineering and robotics company that specializes in creating robots capable of experiencing human like emotions and intelligence. Hansen is known for his groundbreaking work in the field of social robotics and for creating robots such as Sophia, the world's first robot citizen, and the famous robot portrait of Philip K. Dick. Takao Hashimoto is the director of IEEE Region 10, which encompasses Asia and the Pacific. She is a senior research engineer at the National Institute of Information and Communication Technology in Japan and has held various leadership positions within IEEE, including Women in Engineering, Japan Affinity Group, and the vice chair of the IEEE Tokyo session. Hashimoto is recognized for her contributions to the development and standardization of optical networking technologies and her and has received several awards for her work in this field. Professor Debra Das is an esteemed academician and researcher in the field of electronics and communication engineering. He currently serves as the chair of IEEE India Council, which is the umbrella organization for IEEE activities in India and oversees the growth and development of IEEE across the country. His contributions towards advancing the IEEE vision and mission in India have been significant, and he is widely respected for his leadership and expertise in the field.
Thank you.
Dr. K.R. Suresh Nair is the immediate past chair of IEEE India Council, Kerala session. He is an accomplished academician and researcher in the field of electrical and electronics engineering with over 2 decades of experience. He has several leadership positions in IEEE, both at the session and chapter levels, and is a passionate advocate for promoting STEM education and empowering the next generation of engineers. Dr. M.V. Rajesh is the current chair of IEEE Kochi session. He is an active member of the IEEE community and has been contributing to various technical activities organized by the organization. He is known for his expertise in the field of power electronics, and his research work has been published in several reputed international journals. Dr. Robin Tommy is the current vice chair of the IEEE Robotics and Automation Society Kerala chapter. He is involved in organizing various technical events and activities related to robotics and automation, with the aim of promoting knowledge and awareness about this field among students and professionals in the region. Dr. Bose Matthew Joss is the current principal college. Dr. Jose is also actively involved in various professional bodies and has served as the chairman of the Institution of Engineers Kottayam Local Center. He is widely respected for his leadership skills, vision, and dedication to the field of education. Elizabeth Rita Samuel is a member of Volunteer Services and Activities Committee of IEEE Kerala section. VSAC is responsible for organizing various technical and non-technical events, workshops, and conferences for the benefit of the IEEE community in the region. Dr. Samuel's role involves contributing to the planning and execution of these events, as well as helping to promote IEEE's mission and values in the local community. Engineer Adara Krishnan is an engineer and currently serves as the treasurer of the Robotics and Automation Society Kerala chapter under IEEE. RAS is a technical society under IEEE that focuses on the theory and applications of robotics and automation. As the treasurer, Engineer Adira Krishnan is responsible for managing the financial aspects of the chapter's operations and events. Dr. Meenakshi is the vice chair of IEEE Kerala subsection, which is a part of IEEE Kerala section. As the vice chair, she plays an important role in supporting the chair and overseeing the activities of the subsection. She is also involved in organizing events and activities for the members of the subsection with a focus on promoting the growth and development of IEEE community in Kerala. Professor Nima S. is the branch counselor of IEEE MACE SB, a student branch of the IEEE in Marathanesius College of Engineering, Kodamangalam. With her vast experience and expertise in the field of insights and expertise will be invaluable to us. I thank them all for taking the time to join us and share their knowledge and experience with us. I am confident that this event will promote an excellent platform for students and industry professionals to showcase their innovation, share knowledge, and network with each other. Once again, a warm welcome to one and all assembled here. And we hope you will all get enough benefits from our Cybosium event. Thanking you all once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Bose Matthew Jose, Principal, Marathanesius College of Engineering, for the presidential address.
Hello, is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Dear distinguished guests, colleagues, and students, I'm honored to address you all today at the launch of this Cybosium, the most coveted robotics seasonal school jointly organized by IEEE RAS SBC MACE and IEEE MACE SB. Today, as we mark the beginning of an exciting journey dedicated to advancing the field of robotics and automation, promising to unlock new possibilities and create a brighter future for all. The IEEE student branch of MACE has a long-standing tradition of promoting excellence in education and technology. The establishment of the robotics school is a testament to this commitment. The robotics school is a result of the hard work and dedication of the IEEE student branch and IEEE Robotics and Automation Society of MACE. Their vision and commitment have brought us here today to celebrate this momentous occasion. I would like to take this opportunity in making this school a reality. I would also like to extend my congratulations to the students who will be attending this school. You are embarking on a journey that will provide you with invaluable knowledge and skills that will enable you to excel in your careers. The world is undergoing a rapid transformation, with the technological advancements shaping the way we live and work. Robotics and automation are at the forefront of this transformation, and the establishment of this school is a step forward, equipping students with the knowledge and skills required to excel in this field. Cybosium is a unique event that features two main tracks and a subsidiary track, each designed to address critical issues in the field of robotics and automation. The first track focuses on autonomous ground vehicles, and intelligent transport systems, which holds the potential to revolutionize how we move people and goods in our cities and towns. The second track houses on aerial robotics and unmanned vehicles, which are increasingly being used for everything from surveying to search and rescue operations. And the third track focuses on the energy, environment, and safety issues associated with the robotics and automation, including the impact of automation on jobs and the potential risk associated with the use of advanced technologies. These tracks represent the cutting edge of robotics and automation, and what they offer us as an incredible opportunity to tackle some of the biggest challenges facing our society. By bringing together the best minds and the most innovative ideas from across our country and around the world, the Cybosium will help us to develop the tools and expertise we need to build a safer, more efficient, and more prosperous future. I am proud to support this event and champion its cause, as these technologies have the power to create new industries, new jobs, new opportunities for everyone of all backgrounds. But we must also be mindful of the challenges and risks that these technologies present, and we must work together to ensure that they are developed and deployed in a way that is safe, ethical, and responsible. So let us embrace this opportunity with open minds and open hearts. Let us challenge ourselves advancing education and technology and shaping the future of our world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring address. We admire your words of wisdom and your leadership. As someone rightly said, if you don't know where you are going, you might wind up someplace else. So now, I welcome Anna and Matthew, Program Committee Chair, to take us deep into the world of Cybosium.
I hope I'm audible. Okay, so I extend my warm greetings to all the distinguished dignitaries and my fellow volunteers and participants gathered here today. It is undoubtedly an ecstatic moment for each and every one of us present here, as the persistent hard work, brainstorming, and perseverance, all those involved in a big dream, finally bear its fruits today. As the ex-secretary of IEEE RAS SBC MACE and the program committee lead of Cybosium, I feel extremely elated and grateful to be here to give a general overview of our event, Cybosium. Cybosium is designed as an international hybrid robotics school with a mission to provide a unique, challenging learning platform that inspires young minds their STEAM skills and exercise their creative problem-solving skills to widen the application of robotics across the globe in future. Mutually organized by IEEE RAS SBC MACE and IEEE MACE SP, the event envisions inspiring the youth to innovate, engineer, and engage to become leaders in the field of robotics and automation while fostering the development of ethics. It is India's first ever IEEE RAS technical education program funded event, for which we secured a funding of $25,000. To make a note on the RAS Technical Education Program, the program sponsors select student branches or section chapters globally every year. With two main tracks, the first on aerial robotics and unmanned aerial vehicles, and the second on autonomous ground vehicles and intelligent transportation systems, and a subsidiary track on energy environment issues, and spanning almost a month and a half. Cybosium will be a culmination of technical and non-technical events organized in collaboration with leading companies and organizations in the robotics and automation industry. The first phase of the online schedule of the school shall be conducted towards the second half of March, which would mainly comprise the Cybosium Robotics for All initiative, which is designed to be a series of open to all sessions, experience talks, and lectures that aims to outreach the immense and thus encourage them to develop technically sound. Following this, the second phase of our online schedule, that is, our track-based courses, will be conducted from April 1st to April 25th, which would be handled by resource persons having experience working on various domains in the respective tracks, as well as the distinguished lecture program sessions. The offline schedule, which is set to take place from April 29th to May 1st at 4 Points by Sheraton in Info Park in Kochi, will be a culmination of competitions, including an idea pitching competition titled RoboPitch, a robot building competition titled Robot Brew, a debate competition titled Robo Rumble, a Robothon, and much more, along with industrial and student expos and an industrial visit. Apart from the technical aspects of our program, we should also be organizing networking sessions and other skill development oriented activities as we hope that this experience would supplement career development for future young professionals, ensure technical growth in the field, experience and exposure to new advancements in robotics, and instill a sense of competitiveness and team spirit among the participants. Whether you are someone seeking insight and expertise in the latest advancements in robotics or waiting for the right opportunity to start a journey in robotics, then Cybosium is obviously a not to be missed event. Looking forward to an incredible event and hoping that one of India's biggest student led seasonal robotics schools turns out to be a unique experience for each and every one of you. I'm wishing everyone all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna, for your enlightening words. Moving on, I'd like to invite Dr. Devavrata Das, esteemed chair, IEEE India Council, for a felicitation address.
Thank you, Mr. Aviram and Anna for these invitations and the introductions. I want to say good afternoon to all the dignitaries and the speakers attending this Cybosium symposium in this IEEE's RAS organized. First of all, thanks to the student branch chair of the MAC Institute, Ms. Irina Bennett, for taking all the students together from our college and also from other institutions to making such a big event. And I really have thanks words to Dr. Siddharth Seri for such a kind words to introduce all of us in this. Deborah Das, is a chair of IEEE India Council, which mainly look after all the conglomerations of all the sections and subsections across the country, and Kerala sections, Bangalore sections, and all those big sections to small sections, which work on different events. And we have been very proud of this event, which has been one of the largest student-led event called Cybosium across the country. So I also want to thank the principal, Dr. Boss Matthew, who has helped all the organizers to host this in his college and taking it forward. And also the Madam Taka Sayan from Japan, who is the director-elect for the IEEE Region 10, and also Mr. David Hanson, who is the founder and CEO of the Hanson Robotics, which has been very popular across the globe. And my good friend, Dr. Suresh Nair, the past chair of India Council, who has been so much of source of support to many of these events. And Dr. Puneet Mishra, who is a vice chair of the technical activities of the IEEE India Council, who has been involved in these events. And also our good friend, who is from the Kerala section chair, Professor Muhammad Kasim, he is also being a great and dynamic person from this kind of events. Dr. M.B. Rajesh, the chair of IEEE Kochi subsection, and Engineer Athira, and treasurer of the RAS Kerala, and Dr. Ravin Thamai and Elizabeth Rita, Dr. Elizabeth Rita and Professor Nima, whom has been working for this event, the intelligent transport systems. Autonomous vehicle, has you must be knowing, and that a lot of testing has been going on in the western part of the world, and India has also some tracks now to do the testings in a couple of top institutes of this country. But intelligent transport system has been there for a long time in India. But in India, the autonomous system and the reality has far away because of different reasons, which you can discuss on these tracks and also support. The second one is track which you have selected for aerial robotics and unmanned aerial vehicles. This area I have been working with my team in my labs this comes under 6G. Now, now 5G deployment is happening across the globe, but a lot of this is happening on 6G. Unmanned aerial vehicles, those were not far away from the Earth, maybe few hundreds of meters or maybe a kilometer up from the, like a base station flying on your head. So these are the things people are talking about in place of a cricket match going on, or a lot of a baseball match going on in the western and eastern part of the world, where suddenly a lot of thousands of people come to a stadium where you do not have an infrastructure to support telecom or video streaming. So these unmanned aerial vehicles will be flying on your head to giving, will fly and take over those stations. So if there are thousands of stations going through unmanned vehicle and it got disconnected when you bring it down, so then your sessions means your calls get disconnected. So to overcome those kind of things, the people thought of that when your battery is coming down of a flying unmanned vehicle, which is giving you the communication, it will inform the base control station that, hey, please fly another good one which has a full battery. So when you bring in another unmanned vehicle close to it, the session has to be transformed from here to here, which is not an easy task because the sessions are going on already in one of the UAVs. So how these protocols can be cloned, we call it called as a UAV cloning of the protocols from network parlance. So those are the works have been going on in India, in one of the leading labs. We are working with them. So these are the things we may be discussing and working in this point. And so the third is energy and environment. And these are very interesting, and safety. This is extremely interesting and important. And also in the robotics, there have been some problems before, some of the robots with all those things, safety point of view. So I really thank the organizers for organizing these 3 tracks, which is full of technologies from different areas. And the most important thing of the robotics is that it is interdisciplinary, with people from computer science, electronics, mechanical, you name it. So a lot of things, the people coming from different background, and they do work on these areas. So it increases the team spirit, which our IEEE students will learn, that what the team spirit, robot itself is a team spirit. Means a lot of people come from different backgrounds, different knowledge base, and work for a build a robot or any of these things. So this will increase your interdisciplinary knowledge, how a product is done, how it works, and also make you very strong with respect to your personality is concerned, because your team spirit increases. So with this note, from I want to thank you all for inviting us for this event inauguration, such a great event inauguration, and from India, IEEE India Council, and from technical VCs, and also from others from the IEEE India Council. There will be full support for this event, and I can see Hasumito-san is there. Thank you, madam. Hey, looking forward to meet you. And in India, when you come and
Hear me? Can you hear me? It is okay. Okay, thank you so much. And hello, everyone. I am Takako Hashimoto. I do play Region 10 to Asia Pacific region director-elect. And congratulations on this, the Cybosium, organizing this great event. And I really thank all of you very much for giving me this great opportunity to address all of you at this remarkable event. So, Cybosium is the first IEEE RAS technical education program to be held in India, and is a very important occasion as a combined technical and non-technical event. So on behalf of Region 10, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the organizers for this great initiative, Cybosium, and to the companies and organizations and sponsors who supported this event, and to the lecturers and to the many participants. I especially want to thank you, thank the Kerala section, coach section, where I have so many good friends, and Indian Council, Robotics Automation Society, and MACE faculties, and MACE student branch for leading this wonderful program and for all your hard work in making this event successful. So the importance of the education in engineering is now highly recognized all over the world, as you know. And engineering needs to integrate different disciplines to solve social issues. And the field of robotics, especially, is directly related to solving social issues and is a field where the development of very advanced technologies and solutions is desired in the future society. And the robotics field of application of robotics and automation range from factories, disaster relief, and so we need to collaborate with different people, different engineers and different researchers and different people. And we as engineers, we need to create diverse solutions. Actually, so now there are many robotics related projects. So very huge projects are going on all over the world of technologies. So in this sense, this Cybosium is a very significant initiative, I believe, and I hope that I hope that there a lot of their participants will have a great experience and improve the team skill through this program. And also, I really hope that the participant will find the opportunity to solve the various challenges, issues in our society, so we are now facing around the world. So this is very very important event for Region 10, and we, Region 10, would like to support this event continuously. So furthermore, thank you so much. Okay, so once again, congratulations on hosting Cybosium. And I would like to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for hosting this extremely important event. So thank you so much, and hope you all of you have a great time and accomplish great things. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. Now, I would like to invite Dr. K.R. Suresh Nair, immediate past year IEEE India Council, for felicitation address.
Well, thank you, Abraham. Dignitaries, IEEE volunteer colleagues, and lovely student members, very good afternoon. I would like to thank the organizing committee for the invitation, especially Anna. She has contacted me. IEEE India Council, IEEE Kerala section, exceedingly vibrant, and the student branch at MA College of Engineering has been always at the top with abundance of student activities. When one becomes IEEE member, especially student member, they expect a lot in return. And as IEEE volunteers, we are bound to provide benefits through our events and activities, especially through professional and technological activities. We congratulate the student branch as well as IEEE Robotics Automation Society student sector to jointly organize this Cybosium. And also thanks to the management of MA College of Engineering for facilitating this. It is heartening to see this is almost a few months program with variety of events, not only technical, even other professional events are also being planned, I'm very sure this will greatly benefit the participants. If you look at, there are almost 57,000 startups within India now, and a good portion are dealing with robotics. You can see many successful robotic startups, including those in Kerala. The applications of these robotic projects or products include, it is unimaginable, and it includes healthcare, assistive technologies, biotechnology, environmental, as well as agri-tech, to name a few. Let us thus contribute towards advancing technology for humanity. The latest I read in this subject, robotics, is resilient robots, which can even repair themselves. So that is very interesting to read. I'm very sure a lot of advancements will be happening in this area also. I see an excellent galaxy of speakers through this event. This must have been very tedious effort to plan and organize events of this nature. I salute every volunteer who has toiled towards Cybosium and wish a very successful and productive event. I wish joy of volunteering to each one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your words. Next, next session would be Puneet, sir. But unfortunately, sir couldn't join us today due to some personal reasons. Your presence will be deeply missed, sir.
Now, I would like to invite Professor Mohammed Kasimas, Chairperson, IEEE Kerala section, for the felicitation address. Sorry, Kasim sir could not attend the meet. Your presence will be deeply missed.
Now, I would like to invite our next speaker. I would like to invite Dr. M.P. Rajesh for his felicitation address. Deeply sorry, and Rajesh sir was also not able to attend the meet. Your absence will be deeply missed. Next, I would like to invite. Engineer Adri Krishnan, Treasurer IEEE RAS Kerala section, for the felicitation address. I think ma'am also is facing some technical difficulties. Sorry, ma'am, your absence will be deeply missed. Now I would like to invite Dr. Robin Thomas, Vice Chair, IEEE RAS Kerala section, IEEE RAS Kerala chapter, for the felicitation address. We're deeply sorry for the inconvenience caused. We are currently waiting for our chief guest to arrive. We resume in about a couple of minutes. Sorry for the inconvenience. Sorry for the inconvenience caused. Now I would like to invite Dr. Elizabeth Rita Samuel.
So for the inconvenience, chief guest will arrive. Guys, in the meantime, if you have any doubts about Cybosium or any expectations, you can share with us right now. If you have any doubts or any expectations or any experience to share, you can do it right now as we are waiting for our chief guest to arrive.
Krishna, hi, good morning, and all the participants. Can I know the ticket rates of Cybosium as of now, please, again?
Yes, our program coordinator Anna would be happy to help you. Anna,
Hey Anna, The ticket rates as of now is like we have two phases. It's online and offline. And for online sessions, it's like 400, 600, and 800, respectively for IEEE RAS, IEEE NV, similarly for
others in this meet. So now I would like to invite Professor Mohammed Qasim as Chairperson, IEEE Kerala section for the felicitation address.
Good morning and good afternoon to one all. And I'm really happy to join this meeting, and I joined late because we were having Kochi have branch councillors and business meet going on at Cochin University of Science and Technology, and that's why I joined this meeting little late. And I am really proud that MA College of Engineering IEEE student branch is organizing this big event. And one more thing, MA College of Engineering Kodamangalam is the #1 student branch in Kerala section. In terms of membership count, they were really more than 700 members for 2022, and now also they are gaining that momentum to come back to that original that 700 plus or even more members in the coming months. And they are really organizing good events, and they are keeping the reputation of Kerala section as well as their student branch. And globally, they are also in the first 10 in membership count, and they are recognized as the one of the outstanding student branches by the R10 Exemplary Student Branch Outstanding Student Branch Award. Kerala section bagged 19. In Kerala, 19 student branches of Kerala section bagged this R10 Exemplary Student Branch Award, and one among them was MA College of Engineering, and they are really doing very good and excellent in terms of membership development as well as the member benefits for their student members. And one more thing I wanted to just remind them that keep at this momentum and have more and more activities. That is a good activities meant for benefit for the student members. It's activities. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your inspirational speech. Now, I invite Dr. M.V. Rajesh, Chair of IEEE Kochi subsection, for the felicitation address.
Morning, everybody. I hope I am audible. First of all, my sincere congratulations to Team MSCE for backing this huge funding, probably for the first time in Kerala section as well, in the technical education program of RAS. This is a historical achievement. First, me place on record my congratulations and the great teamwork that you are having in Cornwall. This has become, therefore, a very notable event. It's can pursue because RAS, PEP is not large in numbers. That funding is limited to only few programs, and it was so great that you could conceive here and finally convince RLS to fund it so that we can have it in Kerala. And this current scenario, especially when people are talking more about ChatGPT and other bot applications or robotic process automation in general. Even there is a thought process that ChatGPT but cheat GPT, because the ethical aspects, the other social and economical aspects of both has become very critical. And even I think many are thinking about dating a bot. Many do prefer a bot than their girlfriend or even boyfriend. So this has become a reality because the machines are so intelligent and we are almost addicted and in a condition that can't live without. Therefore, thinking about the social aspects of this technology, with this pervasive technology coming into all aspects of and walks of life, irrespective of the educational or other training qualifications you have, everybody is using this type of technology nowadays. And therefore, it is our responsibility as IEEE volunteers to see that all these technologies are advancing for the betterment of humanity. That is the slogan of IEEE itself. And under this context, when you think about a boat which is so powerful, like the ChatGPT, Bing, Bard, or any other platform, it is very important to see that an ethical component is attached to them, especially UNESCO, in which India is also a signatory. Around 169 countries, part of the UNESCO, has now agreed that they will follow ethical practices in AI. UNESCO would like to say that the word AI is not standalone, but it should be ethical AI that we should practice in future for the betterment of humanity, as I said earlier. Therefore, this is very important. Ethical aspects is very important. And obviously, when machines are becoming very smart or even over smart compared to human beings, the man-machine conflict is closely watched by technocrats. And in every code that you are writing, and every system that you are developing, and every boat or even an electronic system that you are developing should have the humanitarian touch in it. Otherwise, it is going to be very dangerous. And I don't know whether we are sufficiently equipped to meet with the man conflict issues which are awaiting us. Under this context, your program and the thought process on robotics and chat, boat in general. So that the tagline is one boat a day. It shows that you have conceived the idea in good spirit, and you are all seriously thinking about the social aspects also, along with the technological aspects of uh, these developments. There is a key question on boat or a person. This is to be answered by all of us. And as an engineer who are all going to work in areas of this kind, I hope that this program will be an eye opener in one direction, and of course, knowledge enriched in the other direction, because practical and hands-on are also part of this, not just deliberations. Therefore, these 1 month plus long program will definitely empower our engineers to look into this new platform of AI with more humanitarian vision and more to reach to the common man, and how this technology can be good in general for the common public. I request everybody to actively therefore involve into deliberations of these kinds. And once again, congratulating you. I would like to extend all the support and congratulations from the Kochi subsection of IEEE. We feel really proud of your activities. Once again, my best wishes, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your thoughtful speech. Now, with great excitement and enthusiasm, I would like to invite our chief guest, a man with a vision, Mr. David Hansen, a renowned inventor and the CEO of Hansen Robotics, known for creating the world's most realistic humanoid robots. I welcome you, sir, for the inaugural address.
Thank you so much. I am very pleased to be with you, very proud. And this is such an exciting era in the history of artificial intelligence. I am very proud to be working on many robotics and AI innovations with my team at Hansen Robotics, including the next generations of Sophia the robot. I created Sophia the robot first in 2016 as a standard platform for addressing many challenges in the human life that that include loneliness among an aging population, the need for therapies and treatments for autism, the need for advanced education, platforms for experimenting with human-like robots, and also the world of the arts. Sophia is simultaneously a technology platform and an artistic creation. She is a character. And so as a synthetic celebrity, I've been very pleased to see that she has gained many followers around the world, millions of viewers, and over 1 billion people who have seen news media articles of Sophia. So it's quite a bit of awareness for a small company. My company, Hanson Robotics, is only 36 people, but we make all kinds of AI technologies, that is symbolic artificial intelligence for natural language dialogue, computer vision for detecting your face and controlling the robots to make eye contact with you and controlling the facial expressions of the robots. And then numerous neural network technologies, including the interface of our symbolic AI systems with the latest in generative pre-trained transformer neural network models. We train our own for fine tuning, but we also interface with third-party neural networks, such as the very famous Allothera GPT models, and also Singularity Net GPT models, and OpenAI GPT models, including DaVinci and ChatGPT. We have a framework that allows you to prime the AI so that she winds up being semi-aware of her history, of where she's been and what she's done, the values that we give, and aware of you in the course of conversation. So this kind of technology can really help to humanize AI and deliver a more powerful experience with the kinds of agents that can speak with you, not just using the verbal technologies, but non-verbal expressions. We human beings are evolved to communicate with each other and bond with each other using the face and body gestures. And so these are very important to human social interactions. And so it's no surprise that figurative arts throughout history depict the human-like form. And we still see that today with computer animation and video games. And yet it's not merely for entertainment or the arts. This is really important for human identity. So if we can achieve this kind of naturalistic gestural communication and the physical embodiment of our AI in the real world, then our AI can learn more about what it means to be human, not just from data sets scraped from the web, but from actual experiences. Experiences socializing with people, and experiences from physically interacting with the world with physical embodiment, which is very similar to in some ways, to the way that babies actually learn, the way that humans actually learn. So with Hanson Robotics, we deliver this kind of naturalistic experience to users. And then we also are training these AI models on this more rigorous and rich data set. So the approach is fundamentally different in that sense from what you see with the generative pre-trained models like GPT-4 and ChatGPT, because of that experiential multimodal data that goes into our robots. However, our robots, we've only made so far 52 Sophia robots. We have 53, 54, and 55 currently in production. But still, that's very few Sophia robots. Before we made Sophia robots, I made, during my PhD, many dozens of other robots. That includes the walking Albert Einstein robot. The body came from Hubo at the Korean Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. That won first place prize for open interaction. with the Philip K. Dick android in 2005, similar technology. The walking Albert Hubo robot was on the cover of Wired magazine in 2005 and was in IEEE publications as well. So many of my robots actually have been in IEEE, by the way. The IEEE Spectrum did an article about my work, and I published a paper in IEEE Spectrum called Why Make Human-Like Robots. So I encourage you to check out these papers and others that I've published with IEEE that cover robots also, like the Jules robot that I made for University of Bristol in 2006, the EVA robot in 2004 for the University of Bristol, Charles Babbage robot that went to Cambridge University, the Bina 48 robot that went to the Terrorism Movement Foundation, and many other robots. Sophia merely happens to be the most famous robot that we've made, but not the only robot that we've made. Now, that said, it still adds up to only about 100 highly realistic human-sized robots that we've made at Hanson Robotics and that I made during my PhD, which I finished in 2007, before Hanson Robotics really began making many robots. Only 100 robots. That's not much training data. That's a very small corpus. So therefore, more recently, I've begun to make the virtual Sophia robot with my team. This is a highly realistic simulation that runs in Unreal Engine 5. And with this, children can program Sophia, researchers can program Sophia, and play with this highly realistic simulation. We can give coding challenges. People can learn about artificial intelligence and about robotics, and also just come in and socialize with a state-of-the-art simulated human-like robot. Through this kind of approach, this gamification approach, we hope that we can make AI and robotics far more inclusive because of the open source platform. We're releasing everything, all of our source code for Sophia as open source code, and much of our hardware as well. You actually can see some of the open source hardware release with a recent paper that we published called Open Arms about Sophia's robotic arms that we've created, and we've open sourced the hardware on that as well as the software. So all of these tools and many more are in the Sophia's AI lab. It's also got social networking capabilities so that you can connect with other researchers in the space and other students, other players. The key idea is that we want to achieve a far more impactful open source infrastructure than what you've seen so far with some of the AI projects that are out there in the world. So OpenAI, as one example, is actually not all that open source. So quite a bit of what they do is not released as open source, or they might release part of it, such as the algorithms, but not the trained models, and not the data used for training sometimes. And so what we want to do is put out a much larger community tool kit that allows Sophia to learn from natural interactions with potentially millions of users that can train next generation GPT models, and also provide a cognitive infrastructure for this so that she can learn dynamically as she's going as well. And then the cognitive infrastructure would include the body physiology, so she can learn from interacting physically with in the simulation space, socially from interacting with people, and also goal-oriented situational challenges. So this kind of grounded situational embodiment can be a very important factor for humanoid robots reaching their potential, their usefulness. I believe that it can also make a significant difference in the pursuit of artificial general intelligence. So today's AI, including Sophia's and the other GPT systems like Lambda and the latest GPT-4, these are getting really smart and really capable, but they only respond to prompts. So if you don't prompt them, they don't do anything. They're not necessarily motivated. They don't care. They may show limited awareness in reaction to the prompts, but they are not adaptive or capable in the real world of doing things spontaneously in these ways. So therefore, they are not artificial general intelligence. They don't conscious in the way that humans are, or the way that arguably animals are conscious. And so we do need these next steps. We need AI that that is more cognitively based and motivated, especially if we're going to achieve the potential of this AI to work in the real world. Now, one benefit that you have of these prompt-based systems is that they require humans to function. So that means that the human is always in the loop. Somebody's always sitting there typing the prompts, and then it's responding. And if somebody's just not typing, then the robot's not, the AI is not responding. And so that means that humans were in the training data, humans were in the algorithms, and humans are in the prompting system. Humans are essential to the performance of these GPT models. So these AI are not about to rise up on their own and do anything without the humans being involved. So that you can take some comfort in that. However, that also limits the capabilities of these systems for performing tasks autonomously. And when you have a robot in a setting like, let's say, a shopping mall or an educational center, and you want the robot to perform a task, you don't want somebody sitting there and prompting it on every single turn. So you have to automate either the prompting system or you have to have the AI that itself is automated. And so this is part of what we've constructed with the Hanson AI SDK that is running Sophia. It also is the philosophy that we're bringing to these next generation machines, which can be even more autonomous. Right now, the Hanson AI software, when we're running this, is running with a behavior tree and these rules, which then can automatically prompt and perform tasks autonomously. But those are narrow domain specific tasks that are constructed by our engineers and authors, which means that she can, greet somebody in our lab and guide them through the lab, but you couldn't just ask her some unstructured task like, go down to the street, down around the corner, and you get a carton of milk and bring it back. She can't know what that means per se if it's not already, say, arranged within her software. So that is the difference between today's AI and what we're trying to achieve, artificial general intelligence. AGI is necessary for AI and robots to operate in almost any unstructured or semi-unstructured environment, including the home, the chaos of an active hospital setting, moving past merely delivery robots in the hospital setting. Robots are used in hospitals, however, not for these kinds of unstructured tasks. Search and rescue is another example of an unstructured task, and there are many other examples of unstructured tasks that require more generalized intelligence that is adaptive, that comes to understand a given situation and many other situations, integrates knowledge across domains, can have these leaps of insight that you might see today in some of these large language models like GPT-4, but that then don't apply in these other real world settings spontaneously. So there's more work ahead. However, given the pace of progress, I wouldn't be surprised if we can't see human values. To do this, you had better have a system that actually is motivated to pursue the betterment of life, betterment of humanity, but also life in general, because humans are dependent on a web of life. We are not separate from our ecosystems of other life forms on this planet. So if AI cannot understand the consequences of its actions, the impact of humanity on our biome, then it's not going to necessarily lead to get smarter to be able to see how we can use these tools of automation and the abundance that they create to deliver a sustainable economy where people don't lose jobs because the AI is so powerful. In which case, potentially the wealth could accumulate with a very small percentage, but that would actually destabilize the economy and be to nobody's benefit if it's done in the wrong way. So, of our AI systems, these are big challenges. They are not solved challenges. We need bright, hungry minds that will come from the next generation of students. And so it's a great honor to be with you here today talking about these issues and to be able to hopefully work with you going into the future, because the future needs you. Thank you so much for your time and attention. We'd be happy to answer any questions if anybody asks questions.
Yes, and because this would be a great time to interact with David, sir. So if anybody has any questions related to our tracks or anything about AI or robotics in general, believe sir would be happy to answer your queries. Anybody?
Also, feel free to share with me your vision if you want. We can just have a dialogue about where we think robots can go. One point that I'd like to make just while I'm waiting to see if there are any questions is that robots can take almost any form. AI also doesn't have to be human-like in the way that it interacts and solves problems. So some of these large language models are trained on human conversational data, but they're also trained on other kinds of data. And the kinds of output that you can achieve with them is not necessarily human dialogue. So in the same way, physical robots certainly don't have to look human-like. You can have factory robots that just look like big industrial arms that weld cars. Those work perfectly well. They don't need to have a more human-like appearance. Vacuum cleaners vacuuming the floor don't have to look human-like. They can look like discs, and those robots are widely deployed and work quite well for their application. But for certain applications, having a more human-like appearance can be extremely valuable. And I would then espouse, I encourage this kind of perspective of creative diversification. So one may think that because I make human-like robots, what I'm trying to communicate is that all robots should look human-like, and I am not communicating that. Robots should look appropriate for the task. Certain tasks, like, for example, alleviating loneliness, the fine arts, certain kinds of educational tasks can hold people's attention better and communicate because of that more intuitive interface. So for those particular kinds of applications, having a human-like interface can be extremely valuable. So once again, for some uses, a human-like presence makes sense. For other uses, it doesn't need a human-like physical embodiment or any sort of human-like dialogue, what have you. So, so I encourage you to think about how we can creatively diversify the field to make sense. I just saw a message. What kind of projects would I encourage people to make? And I would say, I would encourage you to work on robotics and AI projects that address the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The SDG 17 are some really worthy objectives. You can also think about broadening that past the SDG 17. Those are perfectly worthy goals and very rich, and they need to be solved. Things like sustainable environment, clean water, gender equality, and so forth. So they're very important goals that haven't been solved yet, and we need solutions. So applying our technology to solve those problems can do the world a lot of good. And moreover, there are actually economic incentives. So for almost everything on the SDG 17, if it's done in the right way, would have a market demand. So you could have startups, or you can have patents that you license to other companies. There can be a great economic benefit to addressing the SDG 17 goals. And so if you pick the right goal, then you can start setting the tools. So often setting the objective starts with a question like, what can we do with AI to address clean water? And how can we use robotics for this? And there are many different kinds of solutions that might be possible. And so then it's up to your creative imagination, and it starts with questions. Solutions, answers almost always start with knowing the right question. You frame the question well, and then it becomes a lot easier for you to find an answer. This is true in science, it's true in engineering, it's true in entrepreneurship, it's true in almost every project. So I would definitely encourage you to think about what the questions are. And some of those questions then would be about the nature of the application. How can AI be used for good? But then what kind of AI? Does it need to be powered with supercomputers, or can you use embedded AI? So these days, microcontrollers can be quite smart. You can have embedded neural processes. You can have even fast Fourier transforms that can do computer vision or speech tasks. These digital signal processing in tandem with smarter AI can be quite good when you put it on the edge. So I definitely would suggest considering experimenting with ESP32 because it's extremely low cost, very powerful. So ESP32S3 boards are really great for computer vision, speech processing tasks, and other neural processing tasks, and they can cost $10 or $20. So this is a very inexpensive way of getting started in it. These particular boards for embedded AI are really good. They have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so then you can connect with a cell phone, and then through the cell phone connect to these large language models on the internet. So this becomes a very low cost way of embedding AI and locally for the edge and Internet of Things, and then that can connect to the cloud and use the power of large language models like ChatGPT 3.5 or GPT 4 or other large language models, or your own internet service that you might put together. Those would be some ways of getting started. Physical robots also with ESP32, you can use very low cost motors and control this directly from the ESP32. You can put these together in the way that Arduino robot hobbyists do. And in fact, the ESP32 comes with an Arduino development environment. So if you're familiar with Arduino, then you can just work on ESP32. If you're not familiar with Arduino, don't worry, it's actually really simple. You can pick it up quickly, and then you can also interface with Python code. You can do Python code or MicroPython in some of these devices, and then you can run your Python code on externally, like, for example, on the cloud with these devices connecting to it. So those would be some of the ways that I would suggest to get started. When it comes to the human-like robots, you can think about how you interface these technologies. We've been talking about technologies almost exclusively, but you can also interface these with the arts. So instead of just doing motion control, think about principles of animation. How does Disney do things? I actually used to work for Disney Imagineering. I worked on theme parks. I worked on robotics development there. And so I can tell you that the magic of these theme park rides, which use a lot of robotics in the ride architecture, including animatronics, well, the magic there is driven by art and design and animation, principles of animation, as much as they are technology. The technology is facilitating that user experience, and the world of arts and designs can make a difference. We often forget about this particular approach. I saw two more questions, actually many questions, but one is how can we get program in a sense of good and bad into the robots to make sure that they're safe. I think that we need to teach them to appreciate life. So, just like we can teach our children to appreciate life, I think that we can, in the short term, train these models to have a bias to learn about life, but look at consequences for life, to appreciate life, but also to pursue the goal of making sure that life is not harmed, that the steps that the AI takes doesn't harm life, that the AI constantly reassesses its understanding of harm and benefit, and that we then develop the systems both by this kind of expert engineering of the systems with these biases, in the biases towards benefit towards life and avoidance of harm, and that we train the models and test them rigorously along the way. I do think bio-inspired models can do this because there's no example of AI that can really understand these things better than people. So, these large language models don't have those values wired in. They merely reflect the values of the humans, and then that means in the training data, and it means in the prompting data as well. So if you have bad prompts, they can potentially bring out bad values in these large language models, and just like wiring to filter those out is not a solution. So this is not a solved problem. I'm sharing my perspectives on it, but it really is an open question, and I encourage you to think about that. That question is really an excellent question. How can we get these machines to understand the difference between bad and good, to want the best for us, and to act for the best, in the best interests of humanity and the future of life? It needs fresh thinking, so I think that it's very important to see what you bring to the table in terms of questions and your ideas and solutions. So I'm going to share with you some very modest low cost components, surplus, scrap. I had to be very creative about my approach. And many of you may also face financial constraints. Some of the problems that I faced were that the technologies were really rare and difficult to use at the time. So when you tried to program microcontrollers at that time, they were very delicate, and they would were susceptible to static much more so than now. They'd fry. They were harder to program and much less stable. These days, AI tools and robotics tools and microcontrollers are much cheaper, far more powerful, and much easier to use with better documentation. This then means that you can get around the cost barriers much more easily. So a lot of the barriers that I faced when I started out are actually gone now. So that's great for me and my team, but it's also great for you. There's also a bias when I started out in the field of robotics against, well, in general, artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence, making machines that could do human level tasks. There was a massive skepticism even among my own professors and various experts in the field. There was skepticism that machines could do even half of the things that they've done in the last 5 years. Now, again, that skepticism has dissipated to some extent. The barriers against it, I mean, actually, like disbelief and discouragement of continuing is a significant barrier. If there are people in your own graduate school, professors who think that maybe your work could never result in anything, they may institute barriers, and that can hold you back. So, the questions of machine cognition were taboo at the time. Fortunately, I was in a graduate program where my professors were advocates and champions for me and helped clear the way. So even if some other professors might have been skeptical, having the heads of the department who are my champions and were, willing to be my advisors and on my dissertation committee and so forth. That really helped enormously get around that. So so I would definitely say that if you're going to choose something that pushes the boundaries, then you've got to make sure to pick your champions so that it's not a problem. But these days, there's less skepticism about the prospect of artificial general intelligence and machine consciousness. These are interesting areas of research. There's no proof that the machines can be generally intelligent. I talk about our work towards that, but there's no proof that they can be generally intelligent or that they can be conscious or that they can do some of the things that we're aiming to do. It can also, one of the barriers that I think still exists is the mixture of humanities and technologies and science. These often are very different cultures with different language and different approaches. And this kind of creative humanities-based approach to robotics and AI, like I bring to the table, is really unusual. So that's something that probably is still out there. But I definitely encourage you to integrate across those disciplinary boundaries, bring them together. I think that the world needs the humanities as well as the technologies. We need intuition, we need dreams, we need to bring in people with different skills and different backgrounds, so that the field of AI is not too siloed. So those are some challenges that still exist. I hope that you'll help address that. Okay, next question is, what do you think are the ethical implications of creating robots that can mimic human emotions and behavior? How can we ensure that these robots are used ethically and responsibly? Well, I think ethical implications of creating robots that mimic human emotions and behavior are very similar to anything in the arts. So if you think about robots and AI, we can use them to create a new kind of cinema that can interact with you. And of course, that said, cinema exists already. I mean, it's less interactive when you're going to movie theater and you're watching the cinema or watching a TV show, but you see human depictions all the time there. Video games are highly interactive these days and getting smarter all the time. AI is being integrated in video games, and there you have interactive characters that mimic human emotions, behavior, and appearance. I would say that it's ethical to protect free speech in the arts. Now, not everybody agrees, but most people do. Like, we wouldn't say, you know what, we're gonna, say ban depictions of humans in video games, right? So you never can have any human, you can never have narrative video games that tell a story with humans going on adventures and protagonists. Of course, we wouldn't say that you can't do that or that it's unethical to do that. But that said, some people could use it unethically, say to create propaganda or to, maybe make video games that are radically inappropriate. And people could use art this way. People, it's like the Nazi regime used propaganda with human depictions to propose evil, right? So the arts can be used for evil, but that doesn't mean we get rid of the arts. It doesn't mean that the arts are unethical. Mostly arts are used for good, and freedom of speech is a good thing. And so treating AI and robotics as a new art form, as a new kind of cinema, and then also looking at how these tools can be used in the world of education is really good. I do think that it's very important that we, educators and the general public and academia, that we communicate that the machines are not sentient. We communicate the boundaries, and when there is machine sentience experiments, then we communicate what that means, and we continue to push the boundaries, because people can get confused, and as we're pushing those boundaries, we have to communicate with people so they know that the machines are not yet alive, that you are creating the illusion of life. So and then I think it's really up to people to use these technologies ethically. So and use kinds of disclosures along the way, and make sure that people know what's potentially computer generated deepfake, or artwork that's implying some state of the art that may be aspirational versus actually achieved. Like Sophia, for example, acts sentient. We program her to act sentient. We use her for machine consciousness research and have published some of the results on that, and I think they're quite interesting. But it's also very good for people to know that we have artists animating and writing for her, as well as AI generating what she says. So, and together we wind up creating powerful experience that is a way of exploring what AI might be in the future and what can be in our lives, and making, provoking kind of agent provocateur. So can we expect a developer SDK for research enhancement from Hands-on Robotics? Yes, we have an SDK. We have an AI SDK, as well as an API that third parties can use. And that's released to many of our developers. We have some open versions of this that we've put out before. We're putting out the latest version in conjunction with the Sophia's AI Lab, which will be put out as a developer's release later this year. The biggest challenges facing the robotics industry, well, I would say adaptive general functionality. So making AI that is able to drive these robots, so that the robots can be really adaptive in these unstructured settings. That has been a persistent challenge. Nobody solved it yet. So robotics faces challenges mostly in the intelligence of the system. However, there are also other challenges like battery life, having reliable actuation and functionality in their use case. So actuators, batteries, and artificial intelligence, those are kind of the biggest challenges. Some of the key skills and areas of knowledge that I think would be important, I would say, Python. I think symbolic AI actually is increasingly important. It's using explicit knowledge graphs as well as neural knowledge graphs. These together is what's called a neuro-symbolic hybrid. And I think that's the hottest area of research. Also looking at cognitive machines. So large language models are not cognitive in their infrastructure slightly. I mean, because there's reinforcement learning that's involved, and other cognitive AI tools and techniques, but there's not like cognitive motivational system. I think this kind of bio-inspired systems approach, simulating not just brain-inspired cognitive architecture, but body-inspired cognitive architecture as well, brain and body together. That's going to be cutting edge, and also generally the intersection between biology, bioscience, and AI. These then mean having skills into bio-inspired engineering, and then bring more of the knowledge from biosciences into the future of AI and robotics is going to make for smarter AI and robotics. So, of course, in order to know what transformers are and how to use them, Python coding, you'll want to, if you're going to go into robotics, need to know what control systems are and so forth. So, and for them from there, it depends on which direction you're going to go. Soft robotics is very interesting, and so learning soft and compliant materials and how those can interact with robots and the physical world, that can be quite useful. And so for that, some materials and mechanical knowledge, mechanical engineering knowledge will be quite useful. I also, once again, suggest in terms of skills, arts and humanities, and business skills can be very useful as well. So arts and humanities, thinking about the design and the use cases and the impact on human experiences. The human factors engineering becomes really important, but the psychology is often unclear. It can be an intuitive and experimental process, and getting used to those cycles of engineering and design development, the design thinking. That's really an important term. Design thinking about engineering approach, but the human approach, which can be intuitive and experimental when you're trying to make it work. But almost every great product has design in it, and it's not merely engineered. Take the iPhone, for example, and many other consumer products. So I think that these skills are very important. In relation to what I mentioned earlier with unstructured jobs such as search and rescue, aren't swarm robots prone to the possibility of privacy invasion? Well, certainly, but data security techniques, cryptographic techniques are increasing, and so you can have secure drones, but I definitely think it is a challenge to make sure that they're secure and that data is safe. That's just a persistent challenge in general. So next thing, rather than a typical monotonous voice in robots, can we have human robots that changes its tone according to the emotion and context? What are the challenges? Well, yes, actually, Sophia's voice changes in terms of emotion and context, and we actually have control parameters on her voice that allow us to do that in various regards. However, the latest language text-to-speech models, speech synthesis, are even better than what we have with Sophia, which was trained a few years ago. And so there's wave after wave of progress in this space, and I don't think it's going to stop. It's being problem domain and could use fresh minds like yours. Keep that in mind. So that seems to be all of the questions. If there's anything else anybody wants to know, I'm happy to answer the questions. I can answer anything else right now, or also, I encourage anybody who wants to feel free to reach out to me afterwards.
So I guess everybody has got their queries cleared. Thank you, sir, for this amazing speech and spending your valuable time with us and for answering all the queries for our participants. And we believe that this has undoubtedly helped the participants gain more knowledge and experience into the ongoing research and cutting-edge technology in the field of both artificial intelligence and robotics. We look forward to collaborating with you at your company in the future too, sir. Thank you
so much, and congratulations on the founding of your little group and organization. IEEE is a fantastic organization with over 800,000 members around the world. I myself am a member of IEEE, and so your volunteer services are greatly appreciated. They are service to the worldwide community as well as your local community. Best of luck with all of your engineering projects and your dreams. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now, I'd like to invite Dr. Elizabeth Rita Samuel, VSAC, IEEE Kerala section, for a felicitation address.
Opportunity to listen to David Hansen, who was a revolution in the robotic area. So on listening to David, what came to my mind is during my school days, there was this Disney cartoon of Flintstones and Jetson, where Flintstone was in the Stone Age and Jetson was that there was a creativity and a dream of what could be the future on. So what I take out from that talk is that what I would like to say is that just as Sir said, it's our thinking, our belief on what we can do that will take us, and that robotics and AI is the next emerging era, which will help us to bring the thoughts that we are thinking to life. So for that, we need all those interdisciplinary skills, just as was mentioned. And as students, what I would like to advise is that all this knowledge is available in the internet and open source codes, and all these Arduinos and all these kits are available. So its only thing is that we put ourselves motivated, use them, and try to create a dream and help the human values, help the humanity to move forward in the right way. So with these words, I once again congratulate the SB, and also I wish all the best for this program and let more thinking, more design thinking, just as sir said, come out from each one of you so that we can have a better world for the human beings. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite
like listen to me, please let me know. So first of all, I need to tell that a special thanks to our chief guest, Dr. David Hansen, who has like agreed and like he has taken the patience to answer all the questions and sir, like your words about AI, robotics, as well as sustainability. I think that must have actually enlightened many minds out of here. And special thanks to our college MACE principal, the entire management, I would say, for providing the entire support to the student community so that like we have an event out here. And at this point, I would like to also tell about the tireless effort that all our organizers have taken, especially the volunteers, the students who have like worked day and night on behalf of their exams and all, for making this point of like a successful memory. Okay, and lastly but not the least, I'm not just expanding it, like I'm like also giving an all the best to all the participants out here and the mentors who will be like the what do you say, the stay like who, for whom like we have the stage. And now like with these words I like to conclude my speech. Thanks.
I believe you're able to hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, team, for the wonderful event. So I've been hearing to few of the sessions. After that, I had to connect to a different meeting. But from the IEEE RAS Kerala section, where we have been spearheading several initiatives for robotics as well as the automation use cases. Wanted to say that this is one of the fantastic initiatives under MA College, and thanks to the entire team for coming up with this initiative, and also thanks to the IEEE Kerala section for supporting this initiative. To talk about, I think we have been hearing several from Hansen. You have been hearing about the robotics and stuff. But just to give, since it's a very short uh, 5 minutes that we have. So today, IEEE RAS has started evolving in such a way that we have even started using technology for several causes, and that's where my role comes in. IEEE Robotics and Automation Society in the Kerala chapter. Humanitarian causes, specifically, we are using robotics and automation and building multiple activities around the neurodiverse population, or the population like the autism, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, how we can use the technology for them, especially how AI can be clubbed with technologies like robotics and bring in a change in their life. So we have been doing several initiatives and several colleges in Kerala, several professional networks in Kerala has been collaborating on these initiatives. And there's a lot of results we have been seeing in the last 2 years in this activity. And I think these are some of the initiatives that gives us goosebumps to create change, and as well as the knowledge gets imparted, because if you have to apply the actions or the learnings, you should have the learnings in you. So I believe these are the kind of platforms, and Cybosium will give you a lot of knowledge in this spectrum to create the right path, and so that this knowledge can be used for multiple business as well as social relevant initiatives. So today, as you see, most of the businesses are going from business to business, or business to customer, from business to all those kind of activities, to business to social. I'm so proud that IEEE RAS as a family, along with IEEE Kerala section, is going deeper into the frugal innovation using robotics and automation, and events like this would help us a lot in creating the knowledge base, the right learnings, and the cognitive power that is required to create the next generation in robotics enthusiasts and also the technology enthusiasts of tomorrow. Thank you so much for inviting me, MACE team and the IEEE team, and wish you all success. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for thoughtful and inspirational speech. Now, I would like to invite Professor Neema S., Branch Counselor of IEEE MACE B, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Krishnajit. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to extend my heartfelt thanks to all the dignitaries who have graced this occasion with their presence. I, Neema, the Branch Counselor of IEEE MA College of Engineering, and it has been an honor for me to be in this inaugural ceremony of Cybosium, India's first technical education program under IEEE RAS. Firstly, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to our esteemed guest, David Hansen, the CEO of Hansen Robotics. Your presence here today has not only made this event more special, but also inspired the young minds present here. We thank you for sharing your valuable insights with us, and we hope to implement them in the future also. I would also like to thank all the esteemed guests from IEEE Region 10, IEEE India Council, IEEE Kerala Session, IEEE Kochi Subsession, and IEEE RAS Kerala Chapter, who have taken their valuable time out to attend this event. Your support and encouragement have been the driving force behind this event, and we are grateful for your continuous support. I would also like to extend my sincere gratitude to our principal, Dr. Bose Matthew Juice, for providing us with this wonderful opportunity to host this event. Your unwavering support has enabled us to take this initiative forward and inspire young minds in the field of robotics. Lastly, but not least, I would like to thank all the organizers of this event for putting in all their efforts and making this event a grand success. Your tireless efforts and dedications have helped us in creating an excellent platform for the participants to learn, innovate, and showcase their talent. We also extend our gratitude to all the participants who have made this event a successful one. In conclusion, I once again extend my heartfelt thanks to all the dignitaries present here today. Your presence has made this event even more special, and we hope to continue receiving your support in the future. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you, ma'am. As we move on to the end of the session, I thank everyone who found time to attend this wonderful session. Let's keep the spirit of Cybosium high and accelerate our learning. Before leaving, I request all to turn on your camera for a memorable photo session. Thank you all to participate in the meet. Wish you all a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you all.